Wasn't paying attention. Should have been paying more attention. How y'all doing tonight? We're going to get started, but right before we do that, what's going on? How y'all doing this evening? You are live and we are live in the den. This is Aaron EBM. Make sure you guys can hear me before I start going. Been messing around with not StreamYard, but messing around with OBS and trying to deal with this latency issue I've been having. So before we get started or before we get too far up in here, make sure we got everything going the way I want it to go. Hope y'all are doing good on this Tuesday. What was supposed to be Movie Monday is now, I guess, Movie Tuesday. And I told you guys we were going to be talking about, movies. I do movie reviews because that's one of the things I like to do. I like to review movies. I like to review movies, video games, different things of the sort. I do all kind of things. I'm a jack of all trades, but I do like movies. And the hot topic or the hot movie that's been out in the last couple of days is You People. So that's what we're going to be talking about here in a little bit, You People. So going to go talk about that a little bit, see what you guys thought about it, pick your brains a little bit and see if you thought the same thing that I thought, or am I tripping? Is this movie better than what I've thought and I'm just being extra critical, or was it what I really thought, or is it what I really thought? Make sure you guys can hear me. So if you guys can hear me, make sure, let me know in the comments that you can hear me all good, and we'll get started here in a minute. Okay, got that. Turn that down, don't need that. All right. Go on screen. Move that back. Scale it down a little bit. All right. Oh, just all right. Huh. Just one of them things, you know. So, You People, if you haven't seen You People, I don't know if you should see this movie or not. Oh man. If you haven't seen this movie, let's just go back. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to how I started off messing around with this movie. I wasn't even going to watch this movie. You know, I really seen this movie, and I seen the preview to it on Netflix as I was going through, and from the small bit of the movie that I did see, I wasn't going to watch it. I wasn't going to watch it. I wasn't going to mess with it. I wasn't going to mess around with it because I just wasn't interested. You know, Eddie Murphy's been in and out of the game for the last few years. You know, did the Coming to America sequel, which was lackluster, to say the least. You know, Jonah Hill, I haven't really seen much of him since Wolf of Wall Street. Lauren London, you haven't really seen much of her since Nipsey Hussle passed, and she hadn't really did a lot before that. You know, she did the movies ATL. What was the other one? This Christmas. You know, a bunch of B type movies. So I really didn't pay attention to what she was doing. And of course, Nia Long. You know, she's in and out of the game. Only time you really seen her is with the drama that was going on with her boyfriend. I don't think was her husband, fiance, boyfriend, or whatever, David Duchovny. And I always forget the lady's name from Seinfeld. You know, I haven't really seen much of her, but besides I think she made some cameo appearances in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She did those cameos in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which she didn't do too bad of a job. But I really wasn't planning on watching this movie. But I could not critique this movie. I couldn't critique it unless I went through and went ahead and watched the movie. And like I said before, it's one of those things to where you can't get the time back from what you spent watching this movie. You know, it wasn't a horrible movie. It wasn't the worst movie. You know, but it for damn sure wasn't the best. If you guys been on social media, this movie has got more push than The Ultimate Warrior in the 90s. I haven't seen any. I can't say any. I haven't seen too many movies that got the push that this movie got. You know, every post that I see, it's of this movie. Somebody saying they like the movie, or you know, or love the movie, or it is Netflix page saying that they like the, you know, to like the movie. It's number one movie on Netflix, which, you know, if you give it this much publicity, it's not that hard to have a number one movie on Netflix. You know, you gotta click it in order to watch it and then find out if you like it or not. So it's not like you had to spend the money to watch the movie at the theater. You know, you already paid for it. So if you click on it to see if you like it or not, it still counts for a click. So that's what I believe is going on with this movie. You know, if you haven't seen the movie, be some spoiler alerts in this movie, and I suggest you click off the movie now, or click off this live stream now and go watch the movie yourself. But if you don't care, like I'm expecting a lot of you people not to care, then hey, stick around. But we'll get into it eventually. So what's going on tonight? Get this off of here real quick. Close some of these tabs. I got too many tabs open. Way too many tabs open. I don't like to get into much of this news, but we got to do a little bit of it. World Health Organization stockpiling meds. No, we're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do that. You know, these live streams are pretty much free form until I begin to start making scripts for this stuff. But we're gonna stick to the movies tonight. We're gonna stick to the movies. And 2022 has been a lackluster year for movies. It hasn't been really a good. It just really hasn't been good for movies. The MCU is taking a hit. You know, DC of course is taking a hit. You know, Warner Brothers, DC Warner Brothers. It's just not a good year for movies, and some people blame it on this, you know, superhero fatigue. Some people are saying it's just a lack of writing, which I believe. I believe it's the lack of writers out there. It's a lack of originality is to blame for some of it. Outright laziness, and too many agendas being pumped into the movie industry. It just makes for a bad viewer experience. And sorry about that. This is what is happening to the movies. But this movie, if you haven't seen this movie, if you haven't watched the movie, I'm not going to tell you to watch the movie. But in order to critique a movie, you gotta watch it. That's the bad part about being critiquing movies and being able to be really objective about these movies. You have to give the movie a chance. That's the thing. You have to give these movies a chance in order to really be fair about these movies. And I'm gonna go back and tell you guys, I started this movie. And when I started this movie last weekend, I just completely listened to the intro, and the intro was between Jonah Hill and his co-host on this podcast that he had. And you already know the conversation was cringy. He's making a podcast about the culture, AKA black culture. And the whole thing was to me, it was cringy. It was a little cringy. On top of the fact that it's been done several times, if you've seen Look Who's Coming to Dinner, if you see, or Guess Who, or with Sidney Poitier, Look Who's Coming to Dinner, or Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Ashton Kutcher, Bernie Mac, and then Our Family Wedding with America Ferrera, you've seen this movie. You've seen this movie already. If you've seen those three movies, you've seen this movie already. You get the interracial couple that gets together. Both half of the families, half of the families think their half is the right half. You got clashing cultures get together, and they be able to get past all of their family drama and come together as one in solidarity. And the end, with all the turmoil in the middle of with the actual couple in the relationship having the issues and being able to overcome the issues that they have, being from two totally different cultures. If you've seen one of those movies before, that is the movie you've seen when you've seen You People. Now, of course, if you've been watching a movie for the last 5 years, you already know that every movie has to have some kind of virtue signal, has to have some kind of some kind of agenda placed into the movie, and this movie is no exception. It didn't do it to the point that where it was just horrible, but it did do it enough for you to say, okay, here it is. They can't make the movie without trying some kind of way to make either the strong female lead strong for no reason, or either making some kind of culture of the culture is for everyone agenda, or it is to show that how the generations of the past somehow can get over whatever issues they have. And it's the same thing. I mean, to be fair, I've seen worse movies. I don't think any movie can be worse than Soul Plane, and I have watched Soul Plane at least twice. If you pay attention to the people talking about who actually likes this movie, pay real close attention to the people that are who are saying that they like this movie right there, and then come back and then tell me who said that they like this movie, and you already know. It's an overwhelming majority of the people that like this movie are women. Of course, women like rom-coms. Women love a love conquers all story, and this is sort of what this was. It pretty much is what it is. It's self-explanatory. We have with all the Jewish community, black community, militant community, all the troubles everybody's been having has been kind of placed into this movie to show you how weird people can get, and this pretty much is what it is. I don't find the movie quite believable, but the same problems or the same arguments that different cultures have is just that is what's highlighted in this movie. Now, there are the topics of discussion in this movie that people think that people really aren't talking about, which I find strange, because for some reason people believe that, you know, people aren't talking about these things or these issues, and like it's some big secret now. But of course you have the internet and everybody's airing out their laundry, so everybody knows what everybody's talking about. It's just I think it just makes people feel better, you know, when they think other people don't know what they're talking about, but everybody does. Everybody knows what they're talking about, and this movie kind of just shows you what everybody already knows. Eddie Murphy by far was the best part of this movie. Eddie Murphy was the best part of this movie, bar none. There was, you know, it was several parts in this movie where you could call yourself or say that you resonated with Eddie Murphy if you were a black person. And I think by far Mike Epps had a cameo in this movie. Of course, Lala Anthony had a pointless appearance in this movie, as well as I think Young Miami or somebody else like that. You know, they just put as much cultural cultural icons and pop culture in it, to enough people, enough pop culture, enough music to get people to really just, you know, like the movie. It's kind of like Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad did the same thing. They took the MTV, you know, let's play every, you know, hot song that we can get or a hot song that we can find in the movie, and then hopefully we'll get people, that right there alone will get people to really like this movie and stick around. And this is kind of what you people did. They put enough pop culture people in there to get people to like it, to get people to stay, to say, okay, these people are with it, they get us, and to keep people watching and to keep people viewing. But when you actually dissect the movie for what it is, it really isn't bad. It really isn't good. It just is. That's what the movie is. It just is. And that's what I could say. It took me a while to come to the conclusion. I said, what is it? Is the movie actually bad? Is the acting horrible? No, I can't say the movie, the acting is horrible. I can't say that the people in the movie are horrible or hated anybody. You know, Mike Epps had the best line in the movie by saying he drugged Jonah Hill like a fat woman's left foot. That was the funniest part of the movie. I can't say that anybody had a horrible acting experience in this movie. I don't think it was it. But when I actually sit down and actually break down and think about what it is with this movie, beside it being done over and over and over again, because this right now, I believe, and it might be more, this might be the third, you know, clashing culture type movie that is out or have been out. So we haven't done, this movie isn't doing anything new. It isn't really showing us anything new. It's kind of like RoboCop. Remember if you like movies like I do, I'm a movie buff. You remember the original RoboCop? You got the original RoboCop, RoboCop 1 and RoboCop 2. RoboCop 3 wasn't really, we're not going to count that one. But RoboCop 1 and RoboCop 2, you know, they was ahead of its time. RoboCop was ahead of its time. No matter how much you don't like it, RoboCop was ahead of its time. Why? Because what they done in RoboCop had never been done before. The kind of go into the future of what the future would be, you know, not overly done future, but a future on the road to where our future is going now. And to put a cybernetic person in there with the amount of graphics that they had at the time was ahead of its time. It was new. But when you seen what they did, you know, it had enough comedy and it had enough action. It had the right amount, the combination of action. It had the right combination amount of comedy in there to not make it too comical, but to really make you feel like the threat of whatever was going on was real, and it wasn't meant to take lightly. You know, so it was a perfect blend, you know, a perfect blend of grittiness, a perfect blend of action and everything. It was just one of those movies, you know. And with RoboCop, the new RoboCop, the remake of RoboCop, RoboCop 2014, it really gave what it hadn't did anything that what we haven't already saw. But it didn't give us any more gore. It didn't give us added technology that would be ahead of what our time. would be ahead of our time. It didn't give you cybernetics that we couldn't even think of right now, but was plausible maybe 100 years from now. It didn't do that. It didn't do any of that. It just sat down a robot or a cybernetic organism, a cyborg, and didn't give the comedic aspect of it. Stuck the everything together, put action in it, put the guy who played what was his name from Suicide Squad? God dang it, he was the guy who was leading everybody in Suicide Squad. I cannot, that's unprofessional of me. But it was him, and he was just like this ultra cool, like swagged out white cop that gets killed or gets almost killed and gets turned into RoboCop, and then there it was. He was RoboCop, and he was just doing everything like RoboCop. It was nothing new, and that's what You People is to me. You People is like the 2014 RoboCop to the original RoboCop. There's nothing new. There's nothing original. We got a few laughs. We got what we already seen. This is 2023. Interracial couples are interracial couples. There's nobody should even care anymore. So I'm sure it's some old boomers that really care about interracial couples and what these interracial couples are really doing. But in the end, nobody's really trying to stop an interracial couple from doing what the interracial couple is doing. Nobody really cares. It is what it is. At the end of the day, they can do whatever they want to do. Nobody can. This isn't a thing. Yes, we have people that are out of touch. Yes, we have people on both sides that really would prefer their loved ones to stay around or stick or date or marry within their own race. Who can, it is what it is. That's not bound by one race. I'm sure everybody does that. Everybody likes to be progressive and believe that they don't do this or they don't do that. But of course, if you go to different countries, what do? You go to India. What do the Indian country families and countries do? They have arranged marriages. They marry inside of their own people, their own groups, their own tribe. You go to Africa. They marry within their own race, their own group, their own tribe. You go to the Jewish community, they marry within their own race. They stick in their own tribe. It's the thing, and I'm not saying that people don't marry outside. They do, but for the most part, they like to keep in the tradition, and that's what it is. It's nothing new. So it shouldn't be this thing to where like, oh my God, he doesn't want. Okay, yeah, it's one thing to be completely ill-willed about the whole situation, and it's another thing to actually want to stay within the tribe or tradition. That's what I'm saying. Nobody, and at the end of the day, nobody really cares. Nobody really cares about that. And this is what You People is. You People is look who's coming, or guess who's coming, with a bunch of hip hop tracks with some Air Force Ones, with tattoos, and with white and black people. It is what it is. That's what the movie is. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary about this movie. I don't think anything. What the heck is going on? Huh. Hope everything is going all right. I'm trying to make sure that I can see everything. There you go. Yeah, there's nothing new about this movie. There's nothing new about this movie at all. Now, I know Jonah Hill is on this thing about, losing weight and keeping his mental stability intact and all of that stuff like that. And that's cool. It almost is like, they had not Netflix, but yeah, Netflix had to deal with Dave Chappelle. They had all this problem with Dave Chappelle, and they had everybody in the LGBT that label themselves as LGBT, have that whole debacle go on with them being upset with Dave Chappelle, and they had the whole thing with Kanye West. And I feel like, looking on the outside in, I feel this is what this is. This is them trying to make something light, trying to get away from all of that crazy stuff that happened earlier in the year, And this is exactly what it is. It's nothing. It's just nothing to me. You know, of course, everybody has their own opinion about these movies. You know, I have my own opinion about, you know, everybody has their own opinion. Nobody's opinion is more valid than the next person's opinion. And that's the thing about people's opinions. You know, that's why you know, people should come with facts when they're talking about some of this stuff. You know, let's talk about, you know, box office numbers. Let's talk about the mass majority opinion about something instead of just one localized opinion. Because in the end of the day, nobody's opinion is more valued over the next person's opinion, unless, you know, you're just some crazed person. If you're just some crazed person, of course, your opinion isn't going to matter as much as somebody that has been validated by society. But, you know, in reality, nobody's opinion is better than the other one. In the end, it could be a worse movie. There could be worse movies. I'm sure there are worse movies, and there will continue to be bad movies. Do I want to see another You People? No. Do I want to see a You People 2? Absolutely not. Do I want to see anything else like this movie? No. I already know how awkward it is between races. I don't, you know, it is what it is. It's up to you to be able to break the ice and get through it. You know, I know, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And somebody wants to touch your hair that, you know, haven't touched black hair. Of course, you know, you set your boundaries, but it's not some kind of thing to where you want to make some kind of, you know, crazy ordeal out of it. You know, we go through these things as people come together in this melting pot that we call the United States of America. Of course, we're going to have these things. And being that people are so tribalistic, you know, they're so tribal. They're so they, even though this place is a melting pot full of people, full of different people, full of different nationalities, full of different, you know, personalities and all that, we still stick, you know, in the realm of what we know. And what we know is what we're comfortable with. And when you're too comfortable, you just forget, those things, you know. And so I guess that was cool. It wasn't really anything groundbreaking, you know. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. And I don't know if they sought to do that on this movie. And what it showed to me is the same thing that we always see. I mean, let's dissect it. We're going to dissect it a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into it. You know, Jonah Hill, it really made you ask some questions about the black culture itself. You know, is it acceptable for a black man, or, you know, to quit his job to go for his dream, his or her dream, or let's say his dream, because we're talking about a man, his dream for being a podcaster? Will it be acceptable by the women in the community? Most likely not. You know, and that is part of the bias of, you know, the bias between, you know, what black men do, what white men do. If you want to think about, I mean, it's a whole, you can go deep down into the rabbit hole, and there's a lot more about in this movie that not saying it was anything on their end, or, you know, because he doesn't know, but it's just the differences in what people are allowed to do. And there's so many little nuances, and the culture thing about him making a podcast about the culture. What is the culture? You know, what is the culture? You know, because he had his culture. You know, he has the Jewish culture. So what are you talking about? You're going to have a podcast about black culture, and clearly you're not a black man. I don't know. Like I said, this movie is a lot cringy. It wasn't the worst thing I ever seen, but it was a lot of cringe in this movie. There's a lot of cringe. I could put it like that. It could be worse, but it was a lot of cringe in this movie. No, I won't be watching it again. I will not watch it more than one time. I don't think there's a reason for me to watch this movie again. I would honestly sit and watch The Notebook again 8 times before I watch You People. That's just what I think about this movie. Um, mess with this light a little bit. Matter of fact, I do tech on here, and I'm not sponsored. Say by Young Nuo light. I don't know if you can see that. It might not be enough light. I'm turn it on. But you see how bright that is? You see how bright that is? Yes, I haven't played with the with this light, but this is a LED light right here. It's one of the first lights I ever got when I started doing this YouTube stuff, and it's amazing. And it's battery powered, and it's AC adapter powered, and it has a remote, so you can kind of control this thing. You can on and off. You can on and off this light. Switch to cam 1. You can on and off this light with no problem at all with this remote. Get the bright going. I know it's probably blown out right now, but you can turn this off like this. You can see a difference. But it's Young Nuo, and it's digital. I mean, it's a good LED light. I mean, it goes all the way up to, like, I think this is 8,000 lumens. Turn that off right there. And if you're looking for a light, I'm not sponsored by them. If you're looking for a light, entry light, it's a great light. Not batteries, but no light bulbs. It's all LED panel. And it goes from warm, like the lights in my back, behind me, to a really bright 8,000. I think it's Kelvin, 8,000 Kelvin or lumen. I can't remember. I need to get better about these lights, but it is a good light to have, a good light to play with, good light to start. That's not going to break the bank. I think I only spend like $60 or $70 on this light. So if you want a good light to mess with and to start with, then that won't break the bank, that's versatile, that's small. I believe the light itself is only like 6 to 8 inches wide. Has the flaps on there to kind of bounce the light off, and yeah, it's a good light to start with, and it comes with the remote. It does not come with the adapter. You have to buy the adapter separate, but it's worth it, because you buy the battery, you can go out in the field, and then if you're at home, you don't have to use that battery, you don't have to charge it, just plug it in and go. Yeah. Let me see. Excuse me. Yep. But if like I said before, to make a long story short, if you're looking for something to waste time, you can do it to waste your time. If you're not worried about getting the time back and you don't have anything better to do, go ahead, watch the movie. If you got something better to do, if you want to watch, Mortal Kombat for the 3rd, 4th, 5th time, watch Mortal Kombat. Watch Mortal Kombat. But for me, like I said, I'm not going to watch it again. Nope. Not going to watch it again. I'm not going to waste my time on it. And I suggest you not either. I guess it's a good thing with all the, with all the forever race relation stuff that's going on, especially now with all this stuff we got going on in Memphis and the other cities. That I think Atlanta, of course, I know they want to try to make everything as peaceful as they can. I guess you can give them some kudos for that. But other than that, man, I don't know. Let me stop and make sure nobody is on. Nobody watch these streams. People don't watch these streams. I need to share it. Matter of fact, I need to share this. Y'all hold on for a second. While I share this. I'm gonna share this now since share this now. I forgot to share it. I need to share this. I need to share this stream. I need to share this stream. I didn't share. I usually share, but I forgot to share it. So Let me see the easiest way to do this. Make sure I got every. What is going on? If you're new to the channel, this is Aaron EBM. I thank you guys for stopping with me tonight, being here with me tonight. This is just a little movie review. Nothing serious. I like movies. If you go through and look at my about on this channel, you know that it's one of the things I love to do. I love to watch movies, and I know people, especially in this in the internet space, everybody loves to talk like they have so many things more important to do, and you should be doing everything to advance yourself. And yeah, I agree. You should be doing things to advance yourself. You should be doing, if you don't got nothing going on, if you're not working to better yourself, if you're not working to if you're not doing things to make your life better, of course. But you got to have that pastime. You got to have something to do. I cannot stand some of the people out there, especially the women out there, that hate men's pastimes, especially video games. I do not understand why some women, I'm not going to say all, how some women do not like their men playing the video game. They'll let them go all over the country and do everything else, play basketball, be away from home, but do not like them playing video games. I do not understand it. If there any woman that comes past this podcast or past this episode, let me know why. If you are a person that does not like your significant other playing video games, why is it? Why is it? Doesn't make sense to me. It's just a pastime. Now, it's one thing if you cannot get anything done, if you're not productive, or you get like almost addicted, then I understand. But if you are getting stuff done, if you are about your business, if you're doing all that stuff that you are doing and still being productive, then why not? Why can't your man play a video game? Why can't your man play your video game or his video game? Why is it that it's like it's a fight for him to play his video game? Share it to multiple spots, because you got to do YouTube thing. You got to self promote. It's what some people don't actually realize about this stuff either, man. You're gonna have when you start this stuff, when you start podcasting, if you start streaming, making content, whether it's long form, short form, until you actually get big enough to where you actually, this stuff takes off on its own or had that snowball effect, you're going to have to put in your own work. You're going to have to do it. You're not going to be able to, get as far. I mean, some people have that luck of the draw and able to just take off without having these without having that kind of thing, happen, or without having to actually put in that extra work. But anybody that's actually made it as, really far, have actually had to put in that grind, and you're going to have to put in that groundwork, that legwork to be able for your stuff to take off the way you want it to take off. It's not going to take off how you want it to take off until you, I hate when I do that. It's not going to take off to how you want it to take off until you actually put in the work. It's not going to happen. Let me know how you like this light too, guys. If you like this light, if this light is doing its thing, let me know. I think it is, man. I think it's a lot better on the face when you actually got that camera on right there. But I appreciate it. Make sure, see if I got any chats in the comment or any comments in here. I don't have anything in here tonight, so appreciate that. Looks like I'm having it actually looks like I'm not having as much as that latency issues that I was having in the beginning. I was having a rough time last week with the latency issues, but it looks like it's a little bit better. You know, it could be better. It could be cleaner. I think the video could be cleaner, but it's okay. It's not too bad. Yeah, I see some drop frames. But anyway, let me know. Are you going to watch this movie? Have you already watched You People? Have you already watched You People? If you had already watched this movie, what do you think? Do you think it's worth watching? Would you recommend it for anybody to watch this movie? Or do you think, like me, do you think it is a...
Oh, hell no!
I don't think I'm like I said, it could just be me. It could just be me. I might just be that kind of person that is just not into the movies, but I am a movie connoisseur. So I've watched all kind of movies. I've done the action. I've done the sci-fi. I watch drama movies. I'd even do the rom-coms. I even I love 40-Year-Old Virgin and I love Step Brothers. But this movie just seems repetitive. It seems repetitive. It seems like it was a safe bet in today's times, and people are looking for to get people to get back raw, to keep people to get back real. I know they're always going to have these romantic comedies. It's not going to go anywhere, but people are looking for the real, and You People is just more of the same. People want to see edgy. I'm not saying everybody needs to do superhero movies. I'm glad when people step out and actually not do superhero type movies and actually give us something that is different. And people want different. People want to be themselves again. People don't want to have to, walk on eggshells. They want to be able to go to a movie. They want to be able to watch a movie. They want to be able to laugh. They want to be able to be made to laugh and not feel like it is something that where you can blatantly tell that somebody's being safe about the movie. That's what I'm saying. That's what other people are saying. And the quicker they get back into that, the quicker the better this stuff will be. But You People, like I said before, not a bad movie, not a horrible movie, just more of the same. All right, guys. I think I'm going to be it for the night. This was just a small review over the You People movie on Netflix. Like I said before, if you've watched it, let me know what you think about the movie. If you haven't watched it, I'm not going to recommend watching it. You watch it at your own risk. And till next time, everybody, I think I'm going to make that it. I'm going to go have me a bottle of water, go relax the rest of my night, get up, and go slave for the man again until you make it enable me to not have to work for the man anymore. That's what I'm gonna do. Until next time, everybody. Peace.